Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to Rad Company. I'm James Alvarado, and today I want to talk about Father John Misty's new album, Pure Comedy. Father John Misty is singer, songwriter, / former Fleet Foxes drummer, Josh Tillman. This is his third album under the Father John Misty moniker. I loved his first release, Fear Fun, and dug the follow-up, I Love You, Honey Bear. He has a great sense of humor on those records, as well as a self-aware cynicism that is very relatable. And then you've got the songwriting and instrumentation that covered a lot of ground, from rock and roll to pure introspective crooning. There's a bit less of that wider sonic exploration on this record, though it has its moments, like with the track Total Entertainment Forever, some of the memo, or with the horns on things that would have been helpful to know before the revolution. Instead, this record is filled with slower, dirge-like music, and I suppose that is to go with where Tillman is at on this album. This is a guy who is clearly frustrated with the current state of the world, culture, humanity. It certainly feels like a misanthropic record. Tillman is constantly calling out humanity's mistakes or ignorance, and simultaneously heralding the end of it all. And while I generally agree with this sentiment on a lot of these tracks, I started to just get turned off by Tillman himself's personality. All over this record there's a they, a them, some other group or entity that he targets to insult, overgeneralized, or simplify into a clever turn of phrase that generally serves his view. It's an occurrence present on the title track, Total Entertainment Forever, Battle of a Dying Man, Leaving LA, The Memo, Birdie, basically all over. And there's almost no sense of him feeling any sort of responsibility or guilt when it comes to the sins he's calling other folks out for. Sure, he gets a little self-deprecating on Leaving LA, but of course it's after he's insulted the entire city, and by this point I'm just not really buying it. These things make it harder for me to go back and enjoy the tracks I do like the things that would have been helpful. When the God of Love Returns, Magic Mountain, or Total Entertainment Forever, which, by the way, has a refrain that feels pretty similar to a certain famous Jim Croce track. There is little to no time spent on this album talking about how to move forward, how to be a positive force or influence, or how to initiate change to combat the issues that have Mr. Misty so down. Instead, Tillman seems content just to have the point of view he does, to be on the right side of some choice social, political, or religious issues, and think that somehow puts him above the people on the opposite end he's so prone to picking on. He comes off as someone who thinks they're the smartest person in any room they're occupying, and that is something that is just exhausting to be around. Getting back to the music, the stripped-down instrumentation, I'm assuming, is to make room for or shift focus to the lyrics and vocal performance, which is great. He is an amazing vocalist, and his voice is certainly on display here. But for me, the instrumentation still comes off as just lazy songwriting, serving as some background noise while Father John rants. I just think he's capable of more, because we've seen him do more before. To wrap up, this album did a bit of a favor for me, I guess. As the memo starts to head towards its finish, you start to get this robotic voice reading off innocuous stuff people post on social media, or experience with today's technology, or might just blurt out to their friends. And of course it's done to deride that sort of willful ignorance, but that ends up being exactly what this album boils down to for me, a shitty Facebook status. It doesn't exist to challenge you, and it certainly doesn't succeed at being profound. It exists to make the purveyor or the potential listener feel more secure in their echo chamber, reinforce our predetermined prejudices, and basically say, well, it wasn't my fault and I told you so, when it comes to the not so great position we've got ourselves in. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with enjoying this record, only that I didn't. We're doing a 4 or maybe a 5 on this. What did you think of it? Did I get it wrong? Let me know in the comments below. You can reach me on all social media at radradco, or email me at contact@radcompany.com. Thanks. See ya.